homelessness is dangerous. Being homeless outside is dangerous, and you have to keep people safe, and the shelters do that. But if that's all you do, then you're just going to have more and more people living in shelters.
The city of Spokane recently put out their updated homeless population numbers. The report shows overall there's a 13% increase in homelessness. But what's more surprising is that the amount of people that are unsheltered and homeless went up 52% from 2020.
In trying to deal with a homeless population, you build more temporary shelters, you build more emergency shelters. Is this really the best solution to take?
The shelter is definitely part of what needs to happen, but you need to have an approach to getting people into housing as quickly as possible. I mean, ideally, people stay in shelters for a couple of days and then they get a place to live.
That's Steve Berg, Vice President of the National Alliance to End Homelessness. He says unsheltered populations aren't just increasing in Spokane or even in Washington state, but all over the country.
But yeah, we saw a lot of places where there were definitely more people on the streets. But since COVID, it's a lot more people sleeping on the trains, people sleeping outside because they don't feel like they're safe in the shelter.
As a matter of fact, over the years, there have been dozens of studies. Everyone from HUD to the Department of Health and Human Services, even prestigious universities like Harvard, have all shown that there is a direct link from access to affordable housing to a decrease in homeless rates in a city. As a matter of fact, 10 years ago, the Department of Health and Human Services did a major study finding exactly that. They said in that study, quote, explanations suggesting the underlying causes of homelessness identify the increase in poverty in the United States as a key factor in homelessness and a correlation that exists with a lack of affordable housing, health care, and mental health provisions.
Housing is the foundation on which everything else is built. You have to provide that foundation for folks in order for them to address any other issues. And if you're talking about homelessness, homelessness is not the problem. It is a symptom of some other problem.
Pamela Parr is the executive director of the Spokane Housing Authority. They own or operate 817 affordable housing units in Spokane-County, but are in desperate need of more.
The largest source of financing for affordable housing are low-income housing tax credits, and they're competitive, and Spokane can only get one project a year. And so that means we're going to build 80 to 100 units per year using that financing vehicle, and unfortunately, that is not going to keep up with the demand.
Despite this, not everyone wants to see more units in their neighborhood.
Well, I think the argument is always that it will affect their property values, but the reality is that if you look at the housing that Spokane Housing Authority owns, it is the nicest in the neighborhood, and it just doesn't prove out that it reduces property values. It just doesn't.
Now, the city of Spokane is currently accepting proposals for a $10 million fund for affordable housing. The application deadline is Friday, June 10th. Now, according to the city's website, the City Council of Spokane expects to start considering these proposals in July.